Hey YouTube, it's me, looking crazy. I just did some dishes. It's 9:30 at night, okay? This is how I look at 9:30 at night, but listen. It's a new week, or I've rolled over a new week, whatever we want to say. I'm 14 weeks today, and I'm very excited. Yeah, so let's just do our little like bump date. My last video, somebody said, so no sign of a bump. Okay, that means one of a few different things. It either means they mean that I haven't lifted my shirt up, which I'm probably not even gonna do that when I get really big. Or they mean that I'm always this size, you know, or they just didn't see it or something. But no, it's there. It's there. I am not actually always this size. I'm not quite as small as I used to be, but there's a baby in there. There's a baby the size of a lemon, actually, or a croissant, which to me are not the same size, but I guess they can be. So, yeah. What's going on? I've noticed the last couple days more shortness of breath. I just realized I forgot to take my prenatal vitamins today. Anyway, I'm gonna have to take those after I do this recording. But I still am tired. I think I'm less tired than I was, but I'm still pretty tired, and especially in the evenings. If there's too much that goes on in a day or for consecutive days, I may get to an evening and be almost completely useless. I try to still push through, but there are just times where pushing through, not so much. Tonight was my night to put the girls down, and I was glad because I was like very tired. I needed a rest, and so I had one. Oh no. So I'm very thirsty all of the time, which is why my cup is right here. I have like some dehydration that comes and goes, and you know, whatever. But yeah, shortness of breath, still pretty tired, still battling with heartburn. Definitely not as bad as it was. I also am probably not taking these supplements exactly the way that I'm supposed to be to make it work as well for me, but something is either it's being in the second trimester, or it is at least taking what I'm taking, or yeah, it's something. It's better, and the headaches are better. I have a little bit of a stuffy nose that comes and goes, but there's a lot of sicknesses going around, and so sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I'm like, am I sick, or is it pregnancy? Like, I don't know. But it kind of comes and goes. But the way that it comes and goes, especially the last couple days, it leads me to believe pregnancy. I had that a lot with my first daughter in the first trimester. My nose was stuffy like the whole time, but there was nothing actually in there. I guess it was just increased blood flow or something, you know, like inflammation. I had it really bad. I don't remember having it at all with my second daughter, but I've noticed it this time to where I'll be like, but there's nothing there. It's just closed off. So, but it comes and goes. It's not consistent. I'm having other issues. I'm having an issue with my foot, okay? It's not pregnancy related, but I wonder if it's making it worse. It's getting really agitating. But I did finally get an appointment with a podiatrist. Say a prayer for me. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything for me being pregnant or not. I don't know. I really hope so, because I'm tired of this. You know, I'm just tired of it. I'm trying to think. These updates are not going to be like super long, just because I don't have a lot of symptoms going on. And I'm still coming to grips with some things. I guess we could talk about that. I have an appointment next week. But the way it's going to fall, I'm going to be not quite 15 weeks yet. Once I roll over the 15-week mark, I am going to be having another round of genetic testing. It's precautionary only. I had it with my second daughter. I probably have talked about this in previous recordings, but I had it with my second daughter, and I just agreed to do it because it's precautionary, and it's something I have prayed a lot about. I'm praying about just positive, good outcomes, that nothing is going to come back on this test. Nothing came back on our first round of genetic testing. Everything looked really good. Of course, that resulted in finding out the gender earlier. This one, we're not going to find anything cool out like that. It's just because. So it's a little bit bananas to me, but we're going to pay to have a test done that I'm going to pray everything comes back normal, just fine, But it is because my grandma had a little girl with spina bifida, and my doctors are just they're just exercising extra precaution. I think it was circumstantial. I mean, I know there's genetics to it. I'm not trying to be ugly, but I do think some of her situation was circumstantial. Somebody may hear me say that and get really, really angry because I'm not super educated on spina bifida. But what I am educated in is my faith. And so I just pray about it, and I feel like it's going to be okay. Because God has taken care of me twice before, and I think He'll do it again. There's also increased risk. I'm older, and stuff like that. So all of that comes into play. But that is what's coming up for me with this pregnancy. So actually, it's going to fall. My daughter has physical therapy every other week. I clean every other week. And then it's going to fall where, like, next week I have a doctor's appointment for the baby. And the following week, I'll have a podiatrist appointment, and my daughter will have a therapy appointment. It's all fine. It's just doing grown-up stuff. But I will admit, trying to do all of that plus work plus homeschool. I mean, I'm not working full-time, guys. Like, I'm not working full-time, so I shouldn't complain. And, like, women juggle way more than this. I know I sound like just a big old baby, but I'm like, man, holy smokes. Like, that week is going to be so heavy. I have an appointment Monday. I don't know how long that's going to take, plus I homeschool. Tuesday, I'm going to work all day. My mom and my grandma homeschool for me. Wednesday, I have an appointment first thing, and I have to homeschool. Thursday, I have to homeschool. We have dance. Friday, I have to work. And it's just, it's fine, but it's just like a lot. So this is not pertaining to pregnancy. It's just a lot of appointments coming up, and I don't know the variable with like the podiatrist. I told my doctor whenever I got the referral for the podiatrist, I told my doctor I'm 14 weeks pregnant. But when I made the appointment for the podiatrist, I didn't tell her that. I forgot to tell her. So I'm just hoping they can do something for me, because honestly, I think I need like a light surgery. It's not going to be invasive. It's not going to be crazy, or at least I guess I probably shouldn't say that either. But I just don't know what can be done with me being pregnant, but something needs to be done, because I'm not hanging anymore. I'm just not hanging very well. So it's hard sometimes to go talk about like the pregnancy stuff, think about the pregnancy stuff. I keep hearing something. Just because there's a lot going on. Like, I've never had 2 kids and been pregnant before. So you're busy. And we're homeschooling. So you're busy. And not getting breaks, which I'm not saying I want breaks from my kids. You get what I'm saying. It's just like you're always consumed with other things. And so actually the pregnancy, sometimes I have to be like, oh, listen, you're pregnant. And I have that narrative like in my head now towards a habit to where I'm like not picking up heavy things, you know, and things like that. I'm like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I like rub my belly because it's getting bigger. And so like it's like habitual, I guess. But this, I'll be honest, this is a bump. There's a baby in there. But this does not feel like a pregnancy belly to me. This feels like weight gain. Because I'm not there yet. So tying everything in like to reality hasn't really happened yet, because as I said with our girls, we were like actively trying, praying about the baby and actively trying, thinking about making doctor's appointments, thinking about, okay, and like, I don't know, I guess just all the things, you know, like anatomy scans and blood work and, you know, me getting the RhoGAM shot and just all these different things. I was thinking about them realistically. I was propelling myself into a pregnancy like knowingly and prepared. With this, it was a bit of a surprise. So we found out later, and I was having the stomach pains, and I was like, oh, I don't want to get too attached and everything. And then you're trying to get through holidays, and then my dog died, and then we've had a lot of family stuff go on. I've talked about this in other videos. So all of that has happened, and so I've been trying to like I've put my notice in at work. The logistics of things they're rolling, they're going. But it's the logistics. Like my brain is still like, you're gonna do all these things. Your body, like you have to prepare yourself because you're gonna be getting the baby belly again. And I'm afraid it's gonna go so fast and I'll be so busy while it's going so fast. I'm not gonna be able to be in the moment and enjoy it as much. Because I really, like, you know, with your first kid, you're doing it because you're doing it and you're not doing anything else. Like, even if you're working full time or whatever, like, that's what you're doing. And, like, for me, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. Like, for me, I did that, and I felt like I was prepared, but you're not as prepared because you've never done it before. With my second one, I was busy with my first one, and I was still working part-time and, like, stuff like that, but I was like, I just kind of, I was letting life live me with the other one. Like I was trying to stay so focused on bouncing back and like getting my life like back to normal, that with this one, I really want to be in tune and in touch and slow down and relax and enjoy it and all of this. And I was working from home, and my mom had my older daughter on my work days, and I was able to kind of like throw myself into that world. With this one, I'm not. With this one, and I guess that's that third child thing or whatever, but I can't say like that's what I want. Like I want to be in the moment. I want to be embracing this pregnancy. Doing these videos are helping me with that. They are helping me with that. And that was one of the reasons I was like, I know I have to do that again. Because it helped me with my last one, and it is helping me with this one. So I'm really trying to be like, listen, you're pregnant. And I know once I get from this, I mean, this is pregnant, but if you don't know me, you know what I mean? Once I get like kind of to that next stage, I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm there, because I'm bigger than I was with my other kids or whatever, but maybe I'm there. But like once I start dressing more pregnant, I think I'll feel it more. Like right now I'm just feeling, you know, this is how I'm dressed. But I wore like jeans today or whatever, but you know, this is how I'm dressed. And so I just I think that this is part of why. It's not all coming full circle yet. But I'm trying to prepare for the baby. My mom's gonna come over and help me go through the girls' clothes and make room for another set of someone else's clothes and make room for a dresser upstairs and go through all the toys and kind of purge the toys so I can get a little setup somewhere for some toys for him or whatever, because it's gonna be rough up in here. It's gonna be rough. And then I need help from my husband going through everything downstairs and getting everything cleaned up. This has all been stuff that's needed to be done, but now I really want it done before the baby comes. And then also, if we get to all the downstairs stuff, I'll be able to get his help, like tightening up all the screws on the bassinet, seeing if it's going to work for us, getting it all cleaned up, cleaning up the pack and place, cleaning up the high chair, like cleaning everything up, and then making room for the other things that I need to get because I got rid of a lot of baby stuff. So it's all like a big work in progress, and I'm having to delegate some stuff. I've got to call in reinforcements, and I was telling my boss about that. And she said, you have got to delegate. You can't do everything on your own. I'm like, I've been trying to do everything on my own, but now that I'm pregnant, I just can't, and I doubt it's all going to get done before the baby gets here anyway, but it definitely won't if I don't get any help. And I'm trying to juggle the kids and homeschooling and like all this different stuff and then get all of that ready. It's just not going to happen. So I'm having to call in some reinforcements and do some delegating and say, okay, I need double the hands to double the time that is spent so that this gets done faster. Like, Mom, you work on that dresser, I'll work on this dresser. Okay, you work on that section of the closet, I'll work on this section of the closet. We've got to make space. Like, we've got to go through the toys. You go through the toys, I'll go through the books, or vice versa, and knock that room out, hopefully like in a day. And then, okay, girl, we got to get over here and go through all the office just because it needs done. And since you're here, like, let's just do it. And then I need to do all the toys downstairs. And I have things that I'm going to do on my own. Like, a lot of the stuff on the main level, I'm going to be doing on my own. But trying to take my kids upstairs and do everything on it just takes so long. And like, when me and my husband go downstairs and we're whipping through all that, that is so much. It is so much that what I would like to do is, like, say, take one day for sure and have like my mom or my mother-in-law or somebody watch the kids while we work on just that and get as much done as humanly possible. And if we have to go back and revisit it and take the kids with us, that's fine. But just take like a day and just like knock it out. So this is what I mean. This shouldn't be part of my pregnancy update, but it is, because there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts to my house. And this is what I mean, like, logistically, my head's in the game. Getting the ball rolling and doing the things that need to be done, like, we're there. I just need to mentally and emotionally show up. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm not attached, because I am. But again, when you have so much going on, it's harder to be like in tune and in touch with things and be in the moment. I wish my dog was here. I'm sorry. I wish my dog was here to do this with me. It's all part of the pregnancy for me. This one is different. This one is different than my previous two in a lot of ways. And that's one of them. And it's a boy, and I've only ever carried girls. You know, I have 2 kids this time around. There's just so many things that are different. But it is wonderful, and I am really glad, and being 14 weeks is great. I'm so sorry if I just totally ran off at the mouth about everything going on in my life. This was meant to be a pregnancy update only. But again, it's all part of the pregnancy, really, for me. And if I go back and I watch these videos for myself later, I'll be like, yep, I remember that feeling like I was drowning. I remember how I couldn't walk through my basement. I remember that. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time. If not before, then this time next week for week 15. It's going right along, isn't it? Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.